In this video, we were going to create a Flappy Bird clone in Godot 4.5. First, we will import our assets. The download link is in the description below. Before importing, let's stay organized by creating a new folder called Assets. Inside that, make another folder named Sprites and drag in your bird, background and pipe images. Then create a sounds folder and drop in the two sound effects. Now let's create our player scene. Click the little plus icon in the top left, type character body 2D and hit enter. Before we continue, let's fix the window size. Go to project settings, display, window and set the width to 720 and the height to 1280. Also change the stretch mode to viewport so the game scales nicely on any screen size. Now close the settings, go to the game tab, click the three dots and deselect make game space plotting on next play. Back to our player scene, rename it to player, then press Ctrl plus S to save, right click and create a new folder called scenes and save the player scene inside it. Don't worry about the warning you see, that will go away once we add the collision shape. Click the plus icon again and add an animated sprite 2D. In the inspector, click the empty sprite frames box, then click it again to open the animation editor at the bottom. Now select all your bird sprites, just hold shift and click from the first to the last one, drag and drop them into that window. Enable autoplay on load and set the FPS to 15 so the animation isn't too slow. Next click the plus icon again and add the collision shape 2D. In the inspector, choose a circle shape 2D and scale it. Let's test it. Click the run project button at the top right. You will get a message asking if this should be the main scene. Click yes, we can change it later. Next, let's make our game scene. Click the plus icon next to player, choose 2D scene and name it game. Save it. Click the link icon to instance it. Move the player to the center of the screen. Now if you click run project, you will notice the bird is still on the left. That's because the player scene is still set as the main scene. To fix that, go to project settings, run, click the file icon and select the game scene instead. Run the project again, now it starts in the game scene. Let's add our background. You can do this two ways, either drag and drop the background image straight into the gray area or click the plus icon, choose Sprite 2D and assign the background texture in the inspector. To align it perfectly with our 720-1280 resolution, open the transform section and set position X to 360 and Y to 640. Now our bird has disappeared behind the background, so to bring it forward, simply drag the background node above the player node in the scene tree. Alright, now let's move on to the coding part. Select the player node and click the script icon at the top to create a new script. Let's start simple. Type var, which means variable, gravity, colon, equal 2400. Variables are used to store values, and you might be wondering what's that colon symbol. It automatically gives the variable type based on its value. For example, variable greet colon equal quotation hello. Now if I try greet times 10, Godot shows an error because it knows greet is a string. But if I remove the colon, it won't complain. But when you run the game, it will crash. We can also declare the type, but if you are assigning a value right away, the colon equal is enough. Alright, let's remove that example and go back to our actual game code. We already have gravity, so now we will use the built-in function physics process delta. This function runs continuously while the game is running, perfect for physics updates. In 2D games, we have two directions, X for horizontal, Y for vertical. Since we want the bird to fall down, we will do this velocity.y plus equal derivative times delta. This increases the polling speed over time, giving that nice accelerating pole we want. But it won't actually move yet. We need to call the move and slide function, which makes the character move based on its velocity. Delta means the time that has passed since the last frame, basically how long one frame took to render. Every computer runs games at different speeds. A powerful PC might run at 120 frames per second while another runs at 60. If we didn't multiply by delta, the bird would fall fast on fast computers and slow on slow ones. Next, let's make it plap. Inside process type if input is action, just press. Go to project settings, input map, click add new action, name it plap, and assign it spacebar and also left mouse button to it. Then inside quotation mark type plap, then velocity.y equal at the top create variable plap pose equal -800. So velocity.y equal plap pose. Run the game and press spacebar or left mouse button. The bird now flaps. Now let's move on to the pipes. Create a new scene with static body 2D as the root node, add the sprite 2D and collision shape 2D as children. Drag and drop the pipe sprite into the sprite 2D's texture. Then create a rectangle shape and scale it to fit the pipe. Now select both the sprite and collision shape. Duplicate them. Rotate them by 180 degrees. And move to bottom. Keep a small gap between them. That's the space the bird will fly through. Also make sure to make each collision shape unique, so changing one doesn't affect both. Let's add the strip to this pipe scene. Variable speed equal 200. Func process position.text minus equal speed times delta. This makes the pipe move to the left over time. Now go back to the game scene, create a new node 2D and rename it to pipes spawner. Attach a strip to it and start with act export to a pipe scene pack scene. When you use act export, the variable appears in the inspector. So click the folder icon and select the pipe scene you just created. And in the code, func ready variable pipe pair equal pipe scene dot instantiate at child pipe pair. Run the game. Pipe pair appear at left side. We want the pipe pair to appear at outside of right side. So pipe pair dot position equal vector 2 800, 0. Now run the game. You will see a pipe appear on the right side, but notice it always spawns at the same height. Let's randomize that. Go to your pipe scene, select the root node, then click the group icon. And move it up and down to find a good range for Y positions. Let's say the min Y is -150 and max Y is 250. Variable Y equal randef range brackets min Y comma max Y, then insert 0, put Y. Right now we only have one pipe pair spawning when the game starts, but we want new pipes to appear every few seconds, just like in the real game. So before doing that, let's organize our code a bit. We will move the pipe spawning part inside its own function, so it's easier to reuse later. Now in ready function, variable spawn timer equal timer.new, spawn timer.wait time equal create variable spawn interval equal 2. So spawn timer dot wait time equal spawn interval, agile spawn timer dot timeout dot connect, spawn pipes, spawn timer dot start. Now run the game. You will see the new pipe pairs spawn every 2 seconds, but notice the first pair is delayed by 2 seconds before appearing. To fix that, make sure to call spawn pipes right inside the ready function. That way the first pipe pair appears immediately when the game starts. Alright, now let's make our bird die when it hits a pipe. Open the player script and start by adding a new variable var alive equal true. Then in the this process function, wrap all the flap input code inside and if alive. So the player can only flap while alive. Now let's detect collisions. If get slide collision count greater than 0, then alive equal false, velocity dot x equal. So in the top variable bounce pose equal minus 400. Then velocity dot x equal bounce pose, velocity dot y equal bounce pose. The bounce looks a little weak, so let's increase bounce pose to minus 800. Much better, now the bird reacts nicely when it hits pipes. Next, let's add scoring. Open the pipe scene, add a new area 2D node and under it a collision shape 2D. Set the shape to segment shape 2D and move it right into the gap between the two pipes. This will detect when the player passes through. Now go to the Node tab next to the inspector, double click the body entire signal and connect it to the pipes script. At the top of the script, create a custom signal score point. Inside the on score area body enter function, if body is in group, so go to player scene, click the player node, open the node tab again, go to groups and add a new group, name player, also tick the global. So if body is in group player, emit signal score point. Now go to pipe spawn script. After instantiating the pipe pair, connect its signal like this. Pipe pair dot connect score point on score point. Create the on score point function. This is called when signal is fired. So in the top, create this variable score equals 0. Then in function on score point, score plus equal 1. Now every time the player passes through a gap, the score goes up by 1. Let's display score on the screen. Go to the game scene and add the canvas layer. Under that, add the label and type 0 as the text. Set its anchor preset to center top. Then under theme overrides font size, make it larger. Set horizontal alignment to center and rename it to score label. Drag that label into the pipe spawn script and update its text like this. Score label.text equal str inside brackets scope. We convert score to string because .text expect text, not a number. Now let's pause the game when the bird dies, but not immediately. Let's give it a short delay. In the player script, move the death logic into its own function called die. Then also add this await get tree dot create timer 1 second dot timeout get tree dot pause equal true. Now the game pauses 1 second after we hit a pipe. Let's create the game over UI. In the game scene, add the canvas layer and rename it game over UI. Add the panel under it and set its anchor preset to pull red. Then add the label inside the panel and set the text to game over, enable uppercase, change the font color to yellow, add an outline size of 20 and make the font size larger. Move it to the center of the screen. Now add a button below it and set its text to restart. To make it look better, create a new theme. Click the theme property, new theme. A theme window opens at the bottom. Use the eyedropper to select the button. Click the colored icon on the right. Scroll down to normal and press the plus button to add the style. In the inspector, adjust the color to your liking and set corner radius equal 20 on all corners, then select the button again. Go to theme overrides and increase the font size to around 50. Finally set the font color to yellow and move the button below the Game Over label. Now click the eye icon next to Game Over UI to hide it. Back in the player script, drag and drop the Game Over UI node. Inside the die function, add Game Over UI dot visible equal true. Connect the restart button's press signal to the player script. Inside on restart button press, type get 3 dot reload current scene. Run the game, but nothing happens when you press restart button. That's because everything paused. To fix it, go to the Game Over UI node and in the inspector set process mode to always. After restart button press, game pause. To fix it, inside the on restart button press, add this get 3 dot pause equal false. Now run the game. Everything worked as expected. Finally, let's add some sound effects. Go to the player scene, add an audio stream player 2D and drag in your Vim flap sound. Open the play script, drag and drop flap sound, then flap sound.play. You can also add the sound for scoring. One last fix, our bird keeps falling forever if it misses the pipes. So in the game scene, add static body 2D with the collision shape 2D at the bottom. Now the bird will die when it hits the ground. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment.